in studio tonight, Jeremy Brown, who is the Deer Management Assistance Program Coordinator for the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. Thanks for being here.
Well, thanks for having me.
And we also have Dr. Maureen McClung from Hendrix University or Hendrix College, and we're going to talk about non-game bird research that you're a part of, and it's really, really interesting stuff. And we're also going to have a little later Randall Watts, Superintendent of the Old Davidsonville Historic State Park, around 7:35. So we have a action-packed program tonight.
You feel like Pat Sajak over there introducing everybody?
Give me a vowel. So
Stump the band.
That's right. So we're going to start off with Jeremy Brown because deer season's coming up. We have had the bucks only antler. What do you call that? The archery only buck season on September, right. And that's kind of a new thing. But you're involved with the Deer Management Assistance Program, DMAP, as everybody calls it, statewide. It's a very comprehensive program, especially compared to a lot of the other ones in the country. Tell us what that's all about.
Yep. So DMAP is it's kind of a one-on-one way of managing your habitat on your property and your local deer herds. I always use the analogy of getting my PhD. People go get degrees on how to manage people, then they get degrees on how to manage the deer, and then how to manage habitat. Well, DMAP bundles all that together. And so we take a one-on-one approach with these DMAP clubs across the state, and we learn their goals. We learn what they want to do with their property. The other thing we're trying to do is do a site visit and assess the habitat that they have. So not only and most people are wanting to grow big bucks, trophy class deer, but not everybody. We have different levels in DMAP. So gauge what they're wanting to do with their animals. We gauge what habitat they have and how that's balanced. And then also what we're doing is learning the capabilities of the people. Is it a big club that has a lot of guns? Is it a small club, just one or two folks that don't know how to age deer on the hoof? And we mix all that together to reach their goals, to unify all of those management strategies to get the landowner to get what they want out of their property. Historically, we were kind of nicknamed or deemed the doe tag welfare program. You just come see me, I'll give you some extra tags, and you just shoot deer, and we all have fun, right? But we're much more aggressive and much more scientific based now. We fundamentally we're more involved with habitat management now than we ever have been, which to me is a huge ordeal, knowing that the vast majority of Arkansas is privately owned. We do have deer in our name, and we focus on deer and habitat, but in reality, the management that we leave, the footprints we leave, in fact, it works for all wildlife, whether it's a pollinator species or migratory birds or whatever. The management that's going on is impacting all of Arkansas's critters because deer is such an umbrella species. They're very adaptive, and they help us skin the cat more than one way, I guess.
A little more complicated than most people think.
They are. There's certain ways to get there, and it don't always work the same in every part of the state either. So sometimes we're even scratching our heads. But part of that program is creating a very robust data set across the whole state. So we're not just armchair biologists making this up in the office looking at a map. We're taking data real time off their property, and we can do site-specific management, and we can pull the data to do regional management, and it all goes right into our strategic deer plan for the state that helps us manage each deer zone and the DMUs. So it's a very regionally based and robust data set that we're collecting.
How do you, diplomatically convey to somebody that's got desires for their deer in Stone County, but expectations of Southeast Arkansas, and how do you convey to them you probably can't accomplish that where you are, or is that a falsehood on my part?
No, I mean, we just got to be realistic. The number one thing is understanding what the goal that the club has, and if it is unrealistic, we don't need to start down the path of leading them in the wrong direction. We need to just tell them, look, I may not be able to produce a 200-inch deer on your property, But the best way to get to that is if you do this, keep your doe numbers down, which means you got to harvest more does. You got to be more restrictive with your antlered buck criteria, and first and foremost, you got to get into the habitat and start prescribed fires or thinning. And I'm just making up scenarios here, but every property is different. Not every property needs to do timber harvest. Not every property, especially when you get down in the Delta, we don't burn near as much as we do in the Ozarks. But it's finding that recipe that gets to their goal. I can tell you, no matter where you're at in the state, if you come meet our biologist and we understand your goals, we figure out what you got for your habitat, we can grow you some high-quality whitetails in this state, no matter where you're at. Now, I can't promise you 200-plus inch bucks everywhere, but listen, as long as we're being realistic here, we can produce some very good quality whitetails anywhere in this state.
If you could do that, we'd call you the deer czar.
Yeah.
You know, one of the questions a lot of people have is, you know, they might have deer that have abnormal points a lot of times, or you might have deer that have, you know, real good symmetrical racks. You might have some that grow cow horn spikes and all this.
Mm-hmm.
What do you tell people is going on their property where they seem to have a lot of one thing like that?
Well, there's a number of reasons, and I guess I have to give the biologist number one answer. It depends. A lot of that, when we're talking racks that are having drop tines or, you know, kickers and burrs and trashiness, a lot of that is just age. You've got a lot of mature bucks. That's a sign of age. The more mature that deer gets, the more oddities and variations you have. A little bit of that has got some genetics to it, but we can't really control a lot of that out there on the landscape. And some of those things are really due to some injuries or unbalances within sex ratios or age structures of your male segment. And so once we see those things, we try to look at that data. Hopefully they're in DMAC multiple years and we get to see those trends, but we get to see, is something out of balance? Is your ratios off or age structure off, or are we seeing a particular type of injury, and so on and so forth. But we try to explain it more along those lines versus trying to produce it or replicate it, because we know we can't necessarily see the genetic side of that all the time.
When we get back, we're coming up on a break here in just a little bit, but get into the private lands, you know, the dovetailing between, you know, wildlife management and the private lands component of Game and Fish. And also, you know, kind of like to revisit, you know, just how far the public has come in their education, Game and Fish's education of people, you know, over the last 30 years of where they were in 96, 98 versus where they are now. If you want to give us just a real quick hit on private lands, give them a little plug.
Sure. I mean,
We got 30 seconds.
private lands division is kind of brand new. We was in the wildlife management division, but we had some directors in our directorate, the powers that be, really stressed the importance of how important habitat work in private lands is in the state. So about 4 years ago, we were brought out, made our own division, and given very high priority amongst the Game and Fish Commission, and therefore that's kind of spawned this revitalization in the state.
All right, we're going to go make us a little money here on Red Talkers Arkansas Outdoors. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
It's a tough time, injured, and it was not your fault. Hurts in the pocketbook, too. Who do you turn to? Don't call a lawyer and find they're out of state or talk with someone at a call center. Call us at the Brad Hendricks Law Firm and talk to a real Arkansas lawyer directly. And remember, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. We'll work hard for you. Have for over 30 years. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
The season is back and your team at Gwatney Buick GMC is playing fantasy financing all month. So get ready to sack your current payment. 2025 Buick Envista at just $199 per month. Get a full blitz of loyalty cash and bonus cash, bringing 2025 Sierra up to 20% below MSRP. Plus, Gwatney Buick GMC is making the biggest play of the year, the $20,000 Negative Equity Assistance Program. Your best opportunity to turn your current car situation around. And with Hummer EV at 0%, don't fumble and miss this $7,500 EV tax credit that ends on September 30th. It's fantasy financing all month long at 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock next to Sam's Club. 501-945-4444. Gwatney, Buick, GMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. Some vehicles require qualifying trade-in. All offers with approved credit. Envista is an ultra-low mileage lease. Sierra based on an MSRP of $55,095. Zero interest has length of contract limited.
Arkansas is our place. It's our place to keep it beautiful. So get your hands dirty and do your part during the Great Arkansas Cleanup, happening now through October 31st. Find events all around the state, or even better, host your own event and recruit your friends. Let's team up and get this done. Learn more and sign up today at KeepArkansasBeautiful.com. A message brought to you by the Keep Arkansas Beautiful Commission, this station, and the Arkansas Broadcasters Association.
It's a great day for football. Two rivals battling it out for a record-breaking crowd.
They're saying it's $1.5 billion.
Huh?
Wait, that's how much the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery has raised for students since 2009. Because every lottery ticket you buy in Arkansas helps students. They've given more than 822,000 scholarships and counting.
Okay, back to football. Two rivals.
This is winning, folks. Playing the lottery is a win for students and maybe you too. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
When you're out and about in the natural state, whether it's work or play, be sure to make W's Convenience Stores your one-stop shop. With 34 locations in central Arkansas, they're easy to find. Headed to the lake or just taking in the beauty of Arkansas? Stop in at your nearest W's location. Their double blend of coffee is always hot and fresh. Snacks, W's has them. Want more than a snack? Many W's have hot delis. And don't forget the hot breakfast sandwiches. W's, where you gas it, grab it, and go. Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts. And much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Brian, you're spreading rumors over here.
Well, that's what I do. I'm in journalism, you know.
I'll let you take it and run with it. Go.
All right, we're visiting with Jeremy Brown, the Deer Management Assistance Program Coordinator for the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, and we've been talking about deer management. And one thing that really stands out is how well educated deer hunters and landowners are in deer management compared to where they were, in 1996, 97, when there was such a battle, just to implement the 3-point rule. And now people are pretty well in tune with the literature, and I think it's an easier sell for y'all, isn't it?
It is. I mean, when you think about it, we didn't have very many deer in Arkansas back in the 30s, 40s. It was all a restoration program then, and we brought it back, and then it reached that stage of stabilization because we grew a big population. Now it's time to stabilize it. That's when your quality deer management principles will become popular. And in some areas, we kind of got overpopulated, and we had to do some population reductions. And working with DMAP, part of my job now is figuring out the quality of the habitat and how many deer you got and trying to balance that. But it's an easier sell now because I think our hunters have seen the changes and they see the fruits of their labor. When they put the 3-point rule in, they seen all of those 6 points running around and more legal bucks that was able to harvest. They seen that increase, so they know science is working there. And so that works to our favor and gets some buy-in. When we're even taking it to the next step now of going to inside spreads and main beam lengths and aging deer on the hoofs. But when you see the the benefits of what the data tells you, it's an easier one to sell. And that's really what our program is geared up to do, is figure out, what part of state we're in, what kind of club we're dealing with, and how to gauge where they're at in it. Some folks, that's why we have 4 different levels. Levels 1, 2, and 3. A DMAP is a tier-based system where level 1 is just a basic deer management, keeping healthy deer. Deer healthy habitat, happy hunters.
Let me stop you. What do you define as a healthy deer and healthy deer populate or herd regionally or in a location?
I guess I would describe that as healthy body weights and your deer numbers are at or below carrying capacity, which typically means you're harvesting about the same amount of bucks as you are does. And just generally speaking, that those deer are not deprived of anything. And that's kind of basically quality deer management principles. So your bucks are going to be looking at a 2.5-year-old age class is what you're targeting. You're going to let the 3-point rule is a good way of getting you into level 1 there. Then you can, I say graduate, that's probably a bad word, but if you wanted to take it a next step further, we get into what we call quality deer management, and that's protecting your bucks at not harvesting them till 3.5 or older. You're going to shoot more does than you are bucks there. But you're really promoting quality deer management principles, moving the deer over to an age class, and your habitat management work is going to get a little bit more intensive. We're looking at putting sunlight on the ground. A lot of might be trying to get you in some governmental programs to help get you some of this habitat work, because it's not all free and it's not all easy. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears goes into it. And then the final one, the level 3, is our much more intensive program, and that's not for the faint of heart. Some of these folks go all year and don't harvest a buck, but your bucks you're targeting your 4.5, 5.5-year-old age class or older male deer. You're letting those deer reach full potential on age. You're going to shoot a lot of does, and a lot of times we got clubs that just really don't have the time to shoot that many does, and so we got to balance that somehow. And then you're taking, again, another step further in your habitat management. These are folks that are typically doing TSI. They may be thinning timber commercially or not. They're going to be burning routinely. They're going to be doing food plots, harvesting a lot of does. So there's a lot of work that goes into that. But again, this is one of those, the more you put into it, the more you get back out of it.
And then we've learned, that there's the right doe to shoot and not the right doe.
If you want to get into the micromanagement part of that, yes, if you collect the right data, if you're trying to increase your deer population, then you're wanting to save back some of those does that are your big producers. So we call them alpha does. If they're constantly producing triplets, well, if you see her out there with triplets, you probably don't want to shoot her if you're trying to increase your numbers. But if you're trying to decrease them, she's a target. You want to get rid of her and hopefully keep those does producing singletons or whatnot. But yeah, we can micromanage as much as possible, and you micromanage your bucks just as much as you do your does on that.
When there is a big difference between North Arkansas, South Arkansas, and the various things, how do you communicate, or how do you draw up a plan and a strategy to know how to manage one part of the state versus another?
Sure, we've adapted a new strategic harvest management program or plan. Each year, if you enroll in DMAP, you collect data for us. We collect your data, and we compare your site-specific data to the deer zone, kind of like a report card check-in. And then we will also compare it to the DMU, which is the Deer Management Unit. So let's just use the Ozarks, for example. If I'm in Zone 3 and I've got 1,000 acres, my deer's weights, my lactations, my antler size are all going to be compared to deer in the same Zone 3 to know if I'm better than them or above average or below average. Likewise, we'll compare it to the whole region to know how you're shaking up. So it lets you know maybe I need to do more habitat work, or maybe I'm not harvesting enough deer because these folks right down the road are.
All right.
And just for the record, I am not a deer hunter, and that's why I'm sitting over here with my mouth shut, and that doesn't happen very often.
All right, so join us on the other side of the break with Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. We're going to talk a little more deer management and also some non-game bird management.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
This is Anthony Lucas, here to tell you about my favorite spot in Little Rock, Corky's. Sure, Corky's may look all ribs and barbecue on the outside, but did you know Corky's was also nominated for Central Arkansas's best catfish? And don't get me started on their chicken, shrimp, and nachos.
Those Big Joe burgers, Anthony.
Big Joe, when did you get here?
You really stealing my thunder, Anthony. Corky's is my place.
No way you love Corky's like me, Joe.
Talk to me when you have your own menu item, Lucas.
Corky's ribs and barbecue.
Arkansas Round Ballers Big Joe Klein and Pat Bradley pontificate on Bet Saracen.
People ask me, what do basketball players know about football? What say you, Joe?
I explained that anyone can run up and down a grass field with a screwy-shaped ball, but it takes finesse to strategically launch a basketball from long distances at an 18-inch diameter steel hoop.
Dang, Joe, you sure are smart.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
It's Justin Acri for CertaPro Painters, and I highly recommend the folks at CertaPro for your next project, whether it's for your home or your business. Interior or exterior, doesn't matter. They always go the extra mile. They painted the exterior of my home before, and what impressed me the most was the attention to detail. They notice a few boards that need minor repairs before they paint them. They will take care of that as well and save you headaches later on. Schedules fill up fast, so get on the schedule now at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate now at CertaPro.com.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See shelter agent Madison Buse in England, Matt Cooper in Russellville, or Todd Session in Morrilton today.
For 55 years, you've trusted Sigma Supply for all your packaging and shipping needs. And now, as part of Brady Plus, they've got even more to offer. From janitorial supplies, facility supplies, and food service disposables, Sigma Supply has you covered. Ordering is a breeze with over 50,000 new products online at SigmaSupply.com. Call or text sales manager David Breitenberg at 501-617-4600 and ask for the Buzz discount now because it's there. And remember, if you're not using Sigma Supply that is now part of Brady Plus, you've got low-grade product, man.
You know, in football, the best teams always have a game plan. This is Coach Houston Nutt. I'm joining Gen Wealth Financial Advisors for the Business Owner Summit. I'll be sharing my own experiences about leadership and what it takes to be successful on and off the field. Don't miss it. Seats are limited, so reserve yours today at GetReadyForTheFuture.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advice offered through Independent Advisor Alliance. Independent Advisor Alliance and Gen Wealth Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Time now to talk to our good friend Neil Atkinson at Sarah's Casino Resort down in Pine Bluff. You got a busy night, Neil, with NFL doubleheader going on.
Yep, got that doubleheader going on right now. We're at halftime of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Houston Texans. Tampa Bay is up by 4 points, winning 14-10. The halftime line is Tampa Bay minus 3.5, so they are still favored right now at halftime, and the over and under with 24 points at the half is set at 44. And the nightcap at 9 o'clock, we've got the Chargers versus the Raiders. The Chargers are visiting Las Vegas and are a 3.5-point favorite against the Raiders, and the over and under is 46. And we already have the line out on Arkansas and Memphis, a game that's being played just down the road. And that line came out like at 3.5, 4, and the bettors have already bet Arkansas to -7. So the bettors like what they saw, even though they came up short against Ole Miss. And Memphis covered their supposed trap game against Troy last week. And the line came out, and the public disagreed with it, and they bet it up to 7. So we've got that.
And you've got ASU point spread?
Yes, we got Arizona State versus Kennesaw State Owls. Arkansas State is on the road, and they are a 6-point favorite over Kennesaw State with an over and under of 56.5. I forgot to mention the over and under on the Memphis and Arkansas game is 63, so they expect that to be another high-scoring affair. You might want to look at all of the double R props that we'll get out later on this week, especially the Taylor Green Russian ones. He seems to have been doing very well with that one lately. Yeah, we've got that. And don't forget, baseball. We're going down the home stretch before the playoffs start. A couple of pennant races most are decided, but the wild card race is still open with 3 teams in the American League and 2 teams in the National League, all within 2 games of the last wild card spot.
Neil, have a great rest of the week. And, folks, you get a chance to download the app, BetSaracen.com. Thanks, Neil.
Good luck, everybody. Take care.
And we're back with Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors, and we've been talking with Jeremy Brown about deer management. And one thing you said is that, things that benefit deer the right way also benefit pollinators, songbirds, upland game birds. And so we have with us Dr. Maureen McClung from Hendrix College, who is deeply involved with a project that's all about that. MAPS, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
What's that all about?
Well, MAP stands for Monitoring Avian Productivity and Survivorship, and it is a program that is administered by the Institute for Bird Populations. And this is a program that involves, it's continent-wide, so it takes place across Canada and the United States and even Mexico, and it involves agencies at the federal and state level, as well as private organizations and individuals. And these people come together during the breeding season of songbirds and near songbirds, and they set up these bird banding stations. And so bird banding is this process of capturing birds and taking data on them, and also putting a lightweight aluminum band on their leg that has a unique number on it. It's sort of like putting a stamp on them, right? And it helps you identify this bird as an individual from here on out for the rest of its life. And what these stations allow us to do when we capture these birds and we put these unique bands on them, we take data on them, and we let them go on and live their merry lives, is it helps us understand how long they survive, as well as what sort of breeding condition they are in. And then we can track what sort of factors are leading to whether or not they survive, how many babies they're having. And so we can take these data that are being collected everywhere from California to Alberta to Arkansas and draw these conclusions about what's happening at the micro scale, say if I want to ask questions about my station here in Arkansas, or at the grand scale, right? Think about asking questions at, really large scales, geographically or even across time, right? So MAPS has been going on since 1989, and there have been over 1,400 stations since this program got started. And there's only about 300 that are run each year, so stations come online and then they go offline because it takes a lot to run these. We run at my station, which is located at Stone Prairie Wildlife Management Area, just outside of Mayflower in Faulkner County. We run at least 8 MAPS days each season. We've been operating since 2020. The days are really long. We start at 4:30 a.m., so that's dark, and we close our nets, these mist nets, at around noon, and we get out of there by 1. So that's a pretty long day, especially in the summer months of Arkansas. Pretty hard work. And what we do is we go out and we set up these nets that are called mist nets, and they kind of look like hair nets, if you can imagine that. We string them between these 2 tall metal poles, and what happens is the birds will fly into these mist nets. They will get ensnared in them, and then we'll come along and take them out of the nets and take them back to the station where we'll put that band on them and collect data on them, and then release them to go on and, you know, feed their babes and go on and migrate back to their wintering grounds when the time comes, or some of them are resident species and they'll stick around all year. And so we'll have 8 sampling days during the summer months, and yeah, all of these data stay with us, and then we also upload them where they go to the Institute for Bird Populations as well as the Bird Banding Lab, which is part of the USGS's ecosystems missions area.
So how many species of birds we have in Arkansas?
Oh, that is a great question. That changes depending on what month you are asking it in. So right now we are in the fall migration season. It is picking up pretty steadily. In fact, if we were to go outside right now, a lot of birds would be taking off to start their nocturnal migration. That's when birds like to migrate because they use celestial cues to migrate. It's safer to migrate at night, fewer predators around to get them. And there are actually a lot more species perhaps passing through Arkansas right now because it is the migration season. And so, like I said, it'll depend on the time of year. So you will have different species here in the summertime than you'll have in the wintertime, and it just changes. So if you were to take it kind of over the whole course of the year, anywhere between maybe 300 to 400, and that depends on if you're counting species that we might consider vagrants, like ones that accidentally make their way into Arkansas, and maybe it's just one. Like we've had birds like snowy owls accidentally make it to Arkansas, like Hedwig, Harry Potter's owl. I don't know if you remember that. That owl, one of those ended up here in central Arkansas once, or brown boobies, which are not a bird you would expect to be here. They are a species that lives in tropical areas, right? So sometimes we get vagrant species like that. Out at Stone Prairie, we've captured 47 species in the 6 years that we've been banding, and our species list grows every year. This year we got wood thrushes for the first time, and we were really excited to see those come in. And it's funny, everyone's always so proud. Each time someone comes in and they have a new species for the station, they'll like pass, so we put the birds into these soft little bags that help keep them calm when we're bringing them back from the nets. And they'll pass it to me at the banding station with like this joyful look in their eye. And I'm like, what? And they know that they're giving me like a Christmas present, like it's a special one. And so I'll take it out of the bag, and I just get really excited because it is like a Christmas gift bringing this bird out. And it's really great to document the bird diversity that's happening here in central Arkansas, especially corresponding to all the habitat management that's going out there. So Jeremy was talking about all the management that's going on, in effort to improve the numbers and the health of these deer populations. And a lot of that kind of management is going on out at Stone Prairie in efforts to improve the quail populations out there. And that's sort of the big story of what we're doing out there. I'm there to study the non-game bird species, but the habitat crew out there is working to improve habitat in part for the quail. And sure, that's the game side of the story, right? But a lot of species are benefiting because of that habitat management, including the native vegetation, right? The forb species, all those beautiful flowers that if you ever get a chance to go visit Stone Prairie, you can't drive in, but you can certainly walk in. And then you'll see all the butterfly species. Like, I cannot tell you how many of our state butterfly, the Diana fritillary butterfly, I've seen out there. And my students from Hendrix College are always just gleeful when they see them feeding on the bee balm that's blooming out there in June. And the birds are benefiting, and it's just wonderful to see how the ecosystem kind of all comes together because of the ways that they have thinned out a lot of the non-desirable tree species, and then how they've literally scorched the earth with prescribed fire. And we had a chance to go out there. We'll come back.
And we did not mention the ivory-billed woodpecker, by the way, folks.
Right. Haven't caught one of those yet.
We were thinking about it, though.
All right, back in a moment.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
When you're out and about in the natural state, whether it's work or play, be sure to make W's Convenience Stores your one-stop shop. With 34 locations in central Arkansas, they're easy to find. Headed to the lake or just taking in the beauty of Arkansas? Stop in at your nearest W's location. Their double blend of coffee is always hot and fresh. Snacks, W's has them. Want more than a snack? Many W's have hot delis. And don't forget the hot breakfast sandwiches. W's, where you gas it, grab it, and go.
I'm Dr. Lowry Barnes. When it comes to orthopedic care, there's no place like the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. We built this hospital just for you, with state-of-the-art surgical suites, advanced technology, and the state's largest group of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons. It's the best place in Arkansas to get you moving again. And if you need urgent orthopedic care, UAMS Ortho Now is right here for you at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, where motion lives and service leads.
For over 30 years, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has been Arkansas's truck accessory headquarters and the only stop for all your truck parts and accessories. If it goes on a truck, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has got it. And that includes upgrading your truck with Vortex spray liners. Tough, durable, proudly made in the USA. Their spray liners can protect your truck for years to come. Call Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse at 501-568-0040 to schedule your spray. Or stop by 65th and University.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Superstars Joe Klein and Pat Bradley for Arkansas's #1 sports app, Bet Saracen.
Joe, you know the main difference between Bet Saracen and those other guys?
Definitely. Easier to navigate. Always good parlays. Plus lots of fun choices. Like ping pong. Right there on the app.
But the real difference are those special promos.
Brand new players get a 100% profit boost just for downloading the Bet Saracen app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
Looking to upgrade your home without breaking the bank? Go to The Warehouse, 2011 North 2nd Street in Cabot, Arkansas's trusted source for quality flooring, including SPC vinyl waterproof flooring starting at $139 a square foot, tile starting at 59 cents a square foot, next-gen waterproof hardwood, and many other building materials at unbeatable prices. Contractor, home builder, or DIYer, we've got what you need, in stock and ready to go. Go see the Flooring King, The Warehouse at Natural State Wholesale, building better naturally.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
If you're not learning anything about the outdoors from this show tonight, you won't ever learn anything. Visited with Maury McClung, who is a professor at Hendrix College and deals in non-game bird research. We're finding out all kinds of things. You were talking. One of my favorites, and everybody's, is hummingbird. I have noticed a lot more hummingbirds recently. Migration coming up for them?
Yes, they're absolutely moving through right now. So they're heading down south currently to spend our winter months during their non-breeding season where it's warmer for them. So they don't have the ability to thermoregulate very well, and so they need to go someplace where it's a little warmer. They don't have to try to work so hard to stay warm. And so, there are big bursts coming through right now. And so one thing you can do to help them is to keep your feeders up so that they can fuel up for their long journeys. If you are part of any Facebook birder groups or part of the AR Birds listserv, there are a lot of people chatting about how many hummingbirds they have at their feeders and talking about, do you still have yours? Are yours gone yet? People love a hummingbird. And right now primarily the ones we have in Arkansas are the ruby-throated hummingbirds. So that's the main species. Occasionally we will have a rufous hummingbird or a black-chinned hummingbird here in Arkansas. Those are some of the vagrant species that we'll get here. And that sounds like a terrible name for them, but that is the technical term. They occasionally come into Arkansas, and we are very excited when they do come here, and everybody flocks to find them.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Exactly.
The flock. I
have to have the puns occasionally. And so, it's a great time to love a hummingbird, because if you put up a feeder, you'll get quite a few. And the more you have up, the less competition there will be for them to vie for those resources to fill up.
They love my Mexican petunias.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And so having natural food resources is also a great option for them. And that's a great way, if since we're talking about habitat here, to support birds, right? So one thing we like to do is to feed them with seed and with feeders and that sort of thing. But another great way to support them is to plant plants that will support them. Particularly, there's a big push these days to plant native plants in your backyard. Particularly for our birds that enjoy flowers and seeds that will be dropping here in the fall and in the winter, and provide that sort of long-term food into the winter months. And so the Little Rock Audubon Center, I want to put in a little plug for them. They do a biannual plant sale, and that's a local source where you can actually order native plants online in spring and in fall. And you can go pick up those plants here locally and put them in your backyard, and they will be a perennial source of bird food and cover. And it's not just bird food, also pollinators. And I tell you what, I love watching my fall plants bloom and butterflies come in and use them, and watch the seed heads mature, and my goldfinches come feed on them in the fall. And you can support birds not just during migration, but year-round with native plants.
All right, I have to ask you, are you friends with Leslie Cooper, by the way?
I do know Leslie Cooper.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we've had her on the pollinating lady.
Oh, so she's done the native plant plug, if I know Leslie.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic.
And I still haven't gotten those plants she talked about 2 years ago.
Well, I'll leave you my card, and we can connect.
So in your time with MAPS, have you noticed any trends upward or downward that the research makes a definitive point at?
Yeah. Well, so one thing we've been tracking is how, obviously I've mentioned the Game and Fish has been managing to open the habitat. So it's that space is an example of really great prairie habitat. Parts of it had been forest and an area that had been woodland that was ready to be opened up again. And so they had thinned out some of the woods and been burning to create a more open woodland habitat and keeping the prairie nice, high quality prairie. And some of that closed canopy forest that was there when we established our MAP station became woodland. And so with this more open habitat, we had expected to see perhaps a fairly sharp decline in our forest species that were there in the opening years of the station. And what we've noticed is that we actually haven't seen as sharp of a decline in those forest species as we would have thought. And what we have seen is an increase in the open, sort of more woodland and grassland habitat specialists, but not the decline in the forest species like we would have thought. So what we conclude from that, and this is sort of preliminary data that we've been analyzing, is that we're not seeing as negative an impact on the forest species, but we are seeing big benefits for those more open habitat species. Another thing that we've looked at is body condition. So looking at whether the habitat is supporting the birds in terms of keeping them nice and plump, if you want to think of it like that, right? Are they maintaining a nice mass in these habitats? And the answer there is yes. So across forest species, woodland species, and prairie species or grassland species, not everybody, the target species we've looked at seem to be doing pretty well. There are other species that we could be looking at, but the ones we chose to use as representatives seem to be doing pretty well there. And so, the general conclusions we can draw there is that habitat management is doing really good things for the birds there. And overall, our numbers of captures are rising each year. And so that's really good too, that the rate of captures is increasing with each year. So more birds. One of my favorite birds is a red-winged blackbird.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see many around here. They're over in the rice fields in southeast Arkansas. Every now and then you see one along the Arkansas River here.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
So, I mean, they do love agricultural fields. They are a wetland species. And you have to go to the right habitat, right? And so I would encourage you to perhaps make use of a resource called eBird. I'm going to do another plug for a great resource.
That's okay.
To go find birds. So there's this really great app called eBird that you can type in the name of a species, and it'll show you where people have been seeing your birds recently, and you can go and find them, right? You can look at it for the last couple days, for the last week, for the last month, and actually go find where those birds are. I promise you, Arkansas is full of red-winged blackbirds, and you can find them around here. You just have to know where to look. And so there are red-winged blackbirds on my campus in the drainage ditches.
Oh, how about
in
that?
Conway.
Okay.
They like the cattails. We have cattails planted in some of our ditches right along our football field. Go Warriors. I'm going to have to bring you a pendant. I'm noticing it's lacking on the wall here. And so I see red-winged blackbirds on my campus, and it's because there's the right habitat. So it's all about where the right habitat is. So that's what I would tell you. If you build it, they will come. To quote a what I consider to be a sports movie. My husband does not.
It was
Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
Many years ago, I lived off from Mississippi over here, and I had a big owl come in and stayed for 2 or 3 days. He was absolutely gorgeous. I got all excited about that. And then on one of my feeders, I had a Baltimore Oriole.
Oh, beautiful.
Which you don't see many of those around here.
Depends on the season.
Oh.
Migration, they'll come through.
Okay. All right, we'll continue this conversation. There is a big festival coming up at one of our state parks, which is, we're going to write that down.
Old Davidsonville.
Historic State Park. We've had a communication problem here, but we'll try to pass along a little information when we come back.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
The season is back, and your team at Gwatney Buick GMC is playing fantasy financing all month. So get ready to sack your current payment. 2025 Buick Envista at just $199 per month. Get a full blitz of loyalty cash and bonus cash, bringing 2025 Sierra up to 20% below MSRP. Plus, Gwatney Buick GMC is making the biggest play of the year, the $20,000 Negative Equity Assistance Program. Your best opportunity to turn your current car situation around. And with Hummer EV at 0%. Don't fumble and miss this $7,500 EV tax credit that ends on September 30th. It's fantasy financing all month long at 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock next to Sam's Club. 501-945-4444. Gwatney, Buick, GMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. Some vehicles require qualifying trade-in. All offers with approved credit. Envista is an ultra-low mileage lease. Sierra based on an MSRP of $55,095. Zero interest has length of contract limited.
It's a tough time. Injured, and it was not your fault. Hurts in the pocketbook, too. Who do you turn to? Don't call a lawyer and find they're out of state or talk with someone at a call center. Call us at the Brad Hendricks Law Firm and talk to a real Arkansas lawyer directly. And remember, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. We'll work hard for you. Have for over 30 years. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Hi, this is Joe Klein, former Razorback and owner of Corky's Ribs and Barbecue.
And I'm Anthony Lucas, also a proud former Razorback and Corky's Barbecue regular customer.
We may represent different sports in different decades, but all generations of hogs agree.
Corky's is the only place to get the most delicious ribs and barbecue at a winning price.
So stop into Corky's now and every day for never-ending specials.
Corky's,
where the hogs come home, baby.
Corky's Ribs and Barbecue.
Have questions about retirement, investments, or your money? Call our financial hotline. Dial 501-381-5228 and leave a voicemail with your specific financial question, and our experts will answer it on the Get Ready for the Future show Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Get your financial questions answered by the pros. 501-381-5228. Call now. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Independent Advisor Alliance. Independent Advisor Alliance and Genwealth Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
All right, we started 5 or 6 weeks ago a series on state parks. I had a little communication problem here this evening. I do know that the Davisonville Historic State Park hosts a Territorial Arkansas Living History Fest. It's coming up this weekend. If you would like more information, where did that go? Some things don't always work the way you want. Anyway, go to the State Parks website and find out more information. That's coming up this weekend.
And we've been visiting with Maureen McClung from Hendricks College, talking about non-game birds, and we wanted to wrap up with a couple of things that you wanted to add.
Yeah, I just wanted to let folks know that if you're interested in seeing this site where I run my banding station, it only runs in the summer and it's not really open to the public, the banding station, but I encourage folks to make use of this public space. You can park on the east and western boundaries. It's just east of Camp Robinson Special Use Area. You can find it just by Googling Stone Prairie Wildlife Management Area. There's a couple parking lots. I recommend the one off Matt Abbott Road. And you can walk in, you can hike around, and it's really a beautiful space to take in and see what the value of habitat management can do for all sorts of wildlife species, including birds, pollinators, and let's give the plants some love too. It's beautiful out there.
And we've also been visiting with Jeremy Brown, coordinator for the Deer Management Assistance Program for the Game and Fish Commission. And you got a couple of big meetings coming up.
Got a couple of big meetings, yep. One's actually tomorrow night. We're going to be over in Conway County in Morrilton. It's the Conway County Deer Season Kickoff because archery season is just around the corner. So if you're in the neighborhood, it's going to be an open house setting. So it's kind of from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Just come on in there. It's at the U of A, the University of Arkansas Community College at Morrilton, the 229 Timberwolf Drive there, Larry D. Davis Workforce Training Center. That's the name I was trying to come up with. But that's a long name, but yeah.
Sure is.
2 hours, we're going to have tons of folks there, whether you're wanting to talk habitat, you want to talk deer, you want to talk just wildlife in general. Private Lands Habitat Division to be there. We're going to have wildlife health specialists. We talk a little bit about CWD and EHD because we're actually starting to see hemorrhagic disease in the state. So some hunters may be concerned, but very good time to come out tomorrow night from 6 to 8. And then I'd really like to drop a plug at a big event coming up for the Private Lands Division. It's the inaugural year for our Private Lands Expo. It is the day before opening day of archery season. So we're going to be looking at September the 26th there in Benton at the Benton Event Center. You do got to register for this one. This is a big all-day event. We're going to start off with a luncheon. We're going to give out awards, landowner awards, whether it's stream teams, fisheries related, whether it's terrestrial related, partners. Big award luncheon. Man, we'll watch some free catfish come out there and join us for that. But in the afternoon, the cool part is we're bringing in vendors and demonstration areas, and we're going to talk things like we talked about today about managing native habitat versus planting it, and how you can do better for wildlife by doing native management instead of planting and pouring things out of a bag. We're going to talk about drone stuff, just a whole lot of stuff the landowners in Arkansas can utilize and benefit themselves and their property. So, again, that is at the Benton Events Center on September 26th, and it'll start about 10:30 in the morning. You do need to register for that. You can do that at our website. There is a small fee that helps, cover cost of the food and the registration and the classes and all that. But for the bang for the buck, this is a real big ordeal about getting educated landowners out there doing the right thing on private land.
Drones have become a big part of what Game and Fish do now.
Technology's way over my head, and it's astronomically going faster than I can keep up with. We're using drones for everything now, finding animals, doing science, a little bit of everything.
With the large amount of deer hunting opportunity that we have in this state, and it gets more and more all the time, it seems like, it's got to make it a pretty rewarding thing, I would think, to be in your position to help people achieve the goals that they've got for this resources.
Honestly, that's my why. That's why I do a lot of this, is to see the reward. My reward is that landowner smile and see success, to know that they bought a piece of property, they leased a piece of property, or maybe they inherited it, but they had a vision. They come to us and told us what they wanted, and we were able to put it out there over the long term. And when you see the hard work that goes into that, the effort, knowing that we work with sponsors like Greenway, NDA, Quails Forever, just many, many partnerships that goes into this, the blood, sweat, and tears, and when it all comes to fruition to make that landowner happy, that it's hard to beat that feeling.
How would you rate Arkansas as a deer hunting place compared to Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri?
We got about 25 seconds left. Just letting you know, that's a deep question you got.
Well, it is, and I'm biased, but we're top notch. We're top shelf. We may not have the most Boone and Crockett records in the books, but we got some of the best habitat. We're harvesting some of the most mature bucks there is in the United States. So we're top tier no matter how you look at this, and it's hard to beat us.
We got deer in Arkansas that have never been killed.
That's right.
And Brian is always full of them. Maureen, I apologize. I did not say Dr. Maureen McClung.
I appreciate you.
We appreciate you. I know you've done some radio work on the station up there in Conway. And so thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule, both of you. And enjoy the rest of the week. And folks, hopefully we got a cool spell coming here sometime soon. Get out and enjoy the Arkansas outdoors.